Hello everybody, welcome again to my YouTube channel Lab Miners. In the first few videos on my channel, 3 videos, I showed you how to build up a rig in plastic boxes. And in this video, I'll be showing you how to tune and overclock your GPUs in order to get the optimal result from your rig. As you remember, I had the T37 motherboard and 8 GPUs connected to it. They are shown here. They are of different kinds, and they are giving me a total of 464 mega hash at the moment. So the tools I'm using is HiveOS, and I will be showing you 2 websites that I rely on in order to get this configuration done. So the first website I'm using is what to mine, and here you can add your GPUs. So I have three 3080 Ti's on this rig. If we enable it, you can see they should give me 255 mega hash and 870 watts. And I have one 3080 LHR. I have two 3060 TIL and two 2060 GPUs in total. So I should be expecting 469 mega hash from this rig and the total power consumption of 1630. If you put your the cost of your kilowatt hour, it's 0.155 US dollars in my region, and you click calculate, and with Ethereum mining we should get $26.43 per day after electricity cost. The second website I'm using is hashrate.no, and here you can get recommendations for your GPUs. I feel like I have to say disclaimer, just like in every video I watched, you are overclocking your GPUs at your own risk and your responsibility. Some GPUs may not handle the overclocking, and you may end up destroying your GPU or breaking it if you overclock it too much or you put some wrong settings on it. So these are merely recommendations, and you can use them at your own risk. If we take, for example, the 3080 Ti, or sorry, the 30, no, 3080 LHR. These are all LHR. Okay, 3080 Ti LHR, and you scroll down. We are talking about mining Ethereum, and they will give you the recommended miners. These settings were done on LOL miner. You have two recommendations, a medium and a high. This is if you are planning to mine Conflux. So in the medium setting, you overclock your core by adding 1200 to it, and you overclock your memory by adding 2000 to it, and you limit your power consumption to 285, and you should get from this GPU around 79 mega hash. If you use the high overclocking by 1200 and 2600 and again 285, you should get 85 mega hash from your GPU. So what to mine will give you how much mega hash you should expect from your card and power consumption, and hashrate.no will give you the overclocking settings you need to put so you can get this result that was described in what to mine. If we go back to the HiveOS, and I scroll down here, so these are the 8 GPUs that I have. The 3080 Ti is currently delivering 83 mega hash. The 2060 31. This is 3080. The 3060 Ti is delivering 42, almost 41, 42. The 3080 is 69, 68, 69, and the rest are the same. 31 from the 2060 and 41. So I have the to 95%, let's say, the result from what to mine, the expected result from what to mine. What to mine tells me I should get 469 mega hash from these cards, and currently I am getting 465.6 mega hash from this card. This is not the end of it. You can see that the overclocking settings that I'm using here, besides the overclocking settings that are given to you by hashrate.no website, in Hive OS, if you click on this small icon here, here you can administer your overclocking settings. You have popular presets. You select the coin that you intend to mine and the algorithm, and it will show you what other users on Hive OS are using for their overclocking settings. You can select one of them, double click on it and save it on your card, or you can input manually your config, whatever you want. After selecting a certain set of overclocking, you should let your rig mine for 1 hour at least, I would say, and then you can get a stable result from it. Simply just by setting if it doesn't give you the needed hash rate, it doesn't mean it's not working. You need to wait a little bit to see the result that you are getting. How to check the effectiveness of the rig? You have the stats button here, and we go to the statistics, and we scroll down to the bottom, and this is the most important thing for us. This is the total hash rate of the rig. Okay, now it's delivering 464, and you see since 12:15 or a little bit before 11, I have a very stable hash rate at 464, and this is the result that we are looking for. These fluctuations before are not good, and you see here yesterday, Monday 22nd, it was fluctuating up and down, sometimes dropping to 435. It means you have something wrong with the setting. This this behavior is not the needed one. What you want is this almost straight line here with 400, a stable hash rate over a long period of time. So you let it run for 1 hour, and you see your total your total hash rate, and if it is stable, then your settings is okay. If it is not stable, if it's showing some fluctuation up and down, then there is something wrong with your configuration. Then you have to analyze. This is my power consumption, and you see when the hash rate goes up and down, the power consumption also goes up and down, and this is not okay sign. And here, the fluctuation in the power consumption is very little, which is okay. So this is a stable uh, power power level consumption. As long as the hash rate is stable, if there's a little fluctuation on the power, it's fine. You don't need to get this level here. Here the power was to the max, like maxed out. It's not fluctuation, but the hash rate was not stable. So I had to change things around. What we want is a stable hash rate. We don't care about the stable power consumption. Actually, it's better when it drops down. We will use less power. So if you are delivering higher hash rate at lower power, it's always good. But high power and fluctuating hash rate, that's not okay. So this is the expected behavior from your rig. A stable hash rate and a small fluctuation in the power consumption is okay. In this graph here you see the hash rate per GPU. We have 8 GPUs from 0 to 7, and this is the hash rate. And as you can see, these are the higher lines. These are the 3080 Ti's that deliver 83 mega hash, and the fluctuation was mostly on all the cards except the lowest one. These are the 2060. I think the 2060, they were stable all the time at 31 mega hash. They were not affected. But I had lots of fluctuation. I changed the clocking settings on the 3080 Ti and they stabilized, as you see from here. But I noticed that I still have the 3060 Ti. They were still fluctuating. And here I changed the overclocking settings of the 3060 Ti. And since this time, since 9:55, all the GPUs are working in a stable manner. And you see this is reflected in the power and in the stable hash rate. So this graph here will gives you the hash rate per GPU, and you have to look as which CPU hash rate is fluctuating, and then there's something wrong with your overclocking settings and you need to change it. You change the overclocking settings, you wait for 1 hour, you see if the result is a stable hash rate, then you are good to go. Then you change the second one. So I have been tuning these GPUs since morning until I achieved this current result of stable 464 mega hash from this GPU, no fluctuation. If you go up to the second, here you see the power. Here you see the 3080s were consuming too much power, saturating with power, no fluctuating on the power, but they were delivering a wobbly hash rate, which is not okay. And after I changed the setting, the power started wobbling up and down, but the hash rate became stable. And this is okay. We want to focus on a stable hash rate. Okay. And then if you go to this is the red line, this is the 3080. Also, I changed the setting and it became stable. And then I tuned the 3060 over here, the 3060 Ti. And you see the hash rate became stable here. And the fluctuation in the power became very small. If we go up, there is no overheating on the system. All the fans are working at the minimum set limit, which is 75%. They don't need to work higher or more. And the temperature has been, since the morning, dropping down. This is mainly due to the open window in the room where the rig is, and the temperature is dropping down outside. So the total temperature of the rig is dropping down significantly. So what you need to achieve is a stable total hash rate, a stable hash rate on each and every one of your GPUs, and the power consumption can be stable, but with a little fluctuation, it doesn't matter. We need this stable line of hash rate on every one of those GPUs. If we go back to, so now I have 464, and if I'm mining on Hive pool, and I'm expecting 0.00739 Ethereum per day. My current pool balance is 0.05 almost. I'm at 50% to reach 0.1. I still need some more 4 days, and I will get a payout from this pool. So what we do, if we go back to the overview and here, so we are overclocking the core, and we are overclocking the memory, and we are setting a limit to the power. If you see your power saturated at 290, but you have a fluctuation still in your hash rate, it means that the card is struggling for power and it's not getting it because you have it choked at 290. Then maybe you need to lift up your power limit. Sometimes you have a fluctuating hash rate, but you are not reaching the 290 limit. Here I'm using only 258. The card can still go up to 290, but it doesn't need. So I'm able to deliver 83 mega hash with 258 watts. So if your power consumption is less than the set limit and still you have fluctuation, then you are choking on something else. Either your core setting is not enough, or your memory setting is not enough, is not overclocked enough to keep the hash rate stable. Although in the @hash algorithm, the most important factor is the memory clock. It plays a huge role in the hash rate, but you also need the CPU. As you can see here on the 3080, I downclocked the core by -200 and overclocked here, and I'm getting the stable 68.5 mega hash from this card. For @hash, it's more about the memory clock, but still the core clock plays a role. And sometimes if you downclock or you don't give a correct figure here, although you have a high memory overclocking, you will still get a non-stable hash rate. If you see your GPU overheating, then definitely you are overclocking and using too much power from this GPU. then definitely you should drop the settings. You should never allow your GPU to overheat. 60 is still okay, but these are the preferable running temperatures for your GPU between 30 and 50. It should be okay. If the temperature goes up to 80, 90 and it runs for a long time, then you are at risk of damaging your GPU. It will be hanging and throttling, and you will never get a stable hash rate from it. So the temperature should be low. As long as the temperature is low, you can go a little bit higher with these settings here. But again, every card has its own limit. It doesn't mean I can put 4000, I will get 160 mega hash from this GPU. That's the maximum limit of the card, 85. As it's mentioned on the What to Mine, these are benchmark tests and they try to get the best of the card, and these are the figures that we should aim for. Uh, if you put it on 4000, it will not work. It may overheat and your hash rate maybe will not work. So keep your temperature low, and you need to reach a stable figure according to the What to Mine website. You can deviate from the recommendations of hashrate.no or from the user presets here that are here. As long as you deviate a little bit and you reach a stable hash rate on your card, you are okay, you are good to go. And one more time, everybody is overclocking his GPU at his own risk. Currently, I'm pretty happy with the current settings that I have used here. And as I said, I have 466 mega hash and the total power, where is the power here? Power 1490, so around 1500 kilowatt, which is quite close to 469, 1630. I can try to tune a little bit more to reach the 469, but I don't think there's a need. Between 466 and 469 is not too much. And the power, at 1500 running this rig here, they estimate 1630, which is much better. It's not worth it for the extra 6 mega hash just to add 100 kilowatt hour on this rig. Please feel free to leave comment or suggestion about what I can do better, how I can tune better. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask in the comments. And if you find this video useful for you and it has some useful information, please do not forget to click like and subscribe. Have a good day. Bye.